Let's juice! Previously on KIMBA TV. You know what we always say when it looks like this? Pretend these are 5-minute candles. You know? And if I went like this, the first thing that you're probably going to notice is this, isn't it? This is still possible. And in fact, you probably don't want to lose the green line. I think most bulls, they're going to be looking for this. John Kata, we got Cowboy, we got Midnight, Sophia, Craze, Kill. Hakan says, did I miss Alpha Juice? As long as you're caught up from yesterday's stream, you're fine. If I were to ask you, what's my next level of interest to the downside? Do you know? What about the next level to the upside? Do you know? Nothing has really changed. We were aware of the yellow line that it's trying to hold right now, but what we really want to see is the green line get tested. Let's see. Cytilix says, got a recap on the night stream as soon as Twitch VOD is done. Let's go, Cytilix. Did I show up last night? Hedge Fawn says, how did you know that the target of 122 was hit exactly 112? That's the RTH all-time high. Yeah, that's the RTH all-time high. Nenad, what's going on? Mr. Easy Time, what's going on? What are you looking for today? Make sure that if you ever wonder stuff like that, I would always encourage you to go watch the live stream and watch like the last 15, 20, 30 minutes of it. My levels haven't changed. So obviously this is a level of interest. This is a level of interest. This is the level that we've been talking about all day yesterday. This is a level of interest. This is a level of interest. And it should make sense to you why these are levels of interest. So I guess, I mean, in 2 minutes, we're going to find out if this is going to be an SFP, right? Is that going to be an SFP? Is this going to hold? Yeah, then up. If this is going to hold, up. So this is probably the point of control where you would start to be like, And then somebody was asking about like the SFPs as long as it comes back. Yeah, so this is okay. This is okay. This is kind of iffy. And then this would have to be quick. So nothing has really changed. And then we talked about how this is probably going to get swept again yesterday, and we explained that. So yeah, it's just levels basically. We'll see if this is going to hold. I mean, we only have to wait 90 more seconds to see if this is the first candle is going to be an SFP. The first one has to be what? You know, if that doesn't hold, then this is what we've been waiting for since last night. If you watch the stream, I put these on live. All right, Dayox. So make sure that you rewind the stream and watch the stream at the end of every RTH close. Every day we set these together at the end of RTH. We've been doing that for months now. So I guess you haven't been watching RTH close for months. We do it every day after RTH close. Maybe once or twice we might forget it, but we do it every day after RTH close. We just move it to the value levels for the previous session. And if you stick around for later today, I'll do another one. I'll draw another one for at the end of RTH if you want, Dayox. You could even remind me every day at RTH, hey, Kimba, can you tell me the previous value levels? And I can do that for you. All right, big dog. You have any questions for me, Dayox? You see the levels to the downside, you see the levels to the upside, correct? And what I'm anticipating today hasn't changed since last night. So, you know, obviously it's the green line that we've been talking about since yesterday. Once we start to kind of get into like the 108s, you're going to have to be a little bit more bearish on the smaller time frames. Burke says, I tried too many tick size. Okay, it's not about your tick size, okay? On the smaller time frame, are you bullish, Kimba? Yeah, I guess. As long as it stays above the green line, yeah, I guess I'm short-term bullish. Would you long the green line if the data looks good? Sure. Yeah, I would just get caught up on yesterday's stream because I talked about longing the green line and what I would want to see today. I don't think so, but I mean, we'll find out in 26 minutes. There's a chance that it could just SFP right here, and maybe it does hold the yellow line right here. So this could be like a scalp long here too. You never know. It is pretty incredible how it's holding that though. Yeah, but green line is what I would probably prefer. Have you shaved any of your longs? No, I have not. What's your next level to the upside? Like 113, I guess. Probably like 113, 115, and then 118. How we doing? Should we do another $5,000 giveaway today? Let's go. Easy money, easy money. Quit playing with me, Indo Lion. Easy money. Easy money. Let's go. You either know what you're doing or you don't, player. Easy money. Nobody says nope. You haven't done everything that you're supposed to. Make sure you're caught up. All right, nobody. All you got to do is go to the Discord and do everything that you're supposed to. It's free money. All right, nobody. Mr. No Money says, I got the BLOFIN. Let's go. Easy juice. Shaggy, you got that thing? And the coolest thing about BTCC is you can trade traditional markets. So if you want to long S&P with me, get down on that thing. If you want to long gold with me, get on that thing. Constantino says, are you still in long? I swear to God, I just answered your question like 10 minutes ago. Yes, I haven't shaved anything. You know that my plan hasn't changed in about 8 months, Constantinos. I'm going to be aiming for 130, 150, 175. I'm not going to shave any of my longs. I will hedge short, Constantinos. I haven't deviated from that exact plan for almost a year. Okay, so if you ask me 2 weeks from now, the answer will be the same. All right, anything really above 150 is probably when I'll start shaving the longs, Constantinos. All right, but make sure you get caught up, okay? The plan hasn't changed for about 10 months, almost a year. I think this is the 11th month now that I've been doing the exact same thing for 11 months, Constantinos. RPM says BTCC is dope. I wish they allowed for isolated. You got to go to the pro section. All right. Yeah, make sure you actually know what you're doing, RPM, because the only reason why is because you haven't checked yet. So make sure you check. Some people didn't know that you can trade S&P on it. Check, check, check. See for yourselves. That's why we do this. What do you mean it was some kind of sixth sense? Stop it. You ain't no Jedi. You should have. Your risk reward profile is always going to be off. Okay? But that means that since you're taking more risk, you have more reward. Risk, reward. More risk, more reward. You're taking more risk shorting. That's not debatable. You should be looking for longs. Those are going to be easier trades. That's not debatable. Structure hasn't changed. That's not debatable. Okay? Open interest, order flow, everything says bullish. So you should be looking for longs. I would love to long this. This is too close to the top. I already know it's going to go here. I'm not going to take this, but this I like. Now, if you have no longs whatsoever, you should have taken this, Camilo. The math says you're longing this, this, or this. And after this, it kind of gets a little... Okay, we're going here now. Unless, you know, something like this happens. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think for me, any big pullback, I'm going to be really excited about getting into longs.
He said, what did he say?
And
he just told us to be prepared.
Like, I don't know if you've been watching for the last couple months, bro, but think about, you know, like, we were really trying hard to long all of this. And we were really trying hard to long all of this, you know? And for me, now that we have gotten an all-time high, I got the last TP that I wanted. And I have the rest of the longs for all-time high and continuing to go higher. And I'll just continue to hedge short because I'm not going to shave any of these longs until like 120 plus, 135. Yeah, and if this pulls back, bro, I'm going to go pop-ink. But yeah, if you listen to our plan, it was let's look for longs here. We didn't get it, you know. So it grabbed a single print, like it did everything that we would ask for. So we like volume based levels, time based levels, and math, right? I mean, that's structure. That's levels. No, you had no 30-minute candle close below. Single print grab. You should have taken the long. That's the easy trade. Astro Anubaba. Kimba, can you share your story of how you got into trading and your initial struggles for the motivation? I don't know if it's a personality thing. I don't know if it's a Virgo thing. I've never had problems with motivation. Usually my biggest thing that hurts me is that I'm extremely self-critical. So I'll sit there and beat myself up for a really long time. And I really, it took me a while to not do that. I got into trading because I grew up dirt poor. And I think as most poor kids do, they look at how rich people became rich. And I realized when I was like, I remember asking my dad at dinner what he thought about the stock market. Like I was probably 9, and I asked him like if we had stocks. Like I can remember this. He was sitting to my left. I was probably 8, 9, 10. So as soon as I could, you know, 18th birthday. D3 Quality says, how's Robinhood doing today? I haven't checked today, but do you like playing scalping Robinhood? We can do that. Colin Steak says, I got round trip today. That's okay. That's okay. Do you feel like you have room for improvement, Colin Steak? Do you feel like you're telling yourself, Why the fuck did I not shave anything? Or can you look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm starting to get at least a little, at least I shaved a little bit. Which boat are you in? And either one is okay. But let's figure out what it is that you want to change, adapt, or improve. Let's make sure we hold ourselves accountable and we do make those improvements. And let's keep juicing. Constique, let's keep juicing. Deadmark says, how important is hedging to you? You know, that's an interesting question because like I've held spot for a very, very, very long time. And I saw that bitch go from 69 to 15. And I didn't sell anything. And that first sort of bull run definitely kind of made me understand that I should head short. But yeah, I think you all have to kind of figure out what is the way that you want to proceed. I think hedge shorting works the best for me because I have a lot of spot and I don't really plan on selling any. And since I'm bullish, instead of shaving or TPing my longs, I can get into a hedge short. So it's a good compromise with my greedy ass. Too many times I feel like I let a bunch of derivative longs that were in insane profits like get round tripped, or I pissed away like 80% of profits. And so I think hedge shorting works out the best because even if I'm wrong on the hedge short, I'm basically getting paid a tiny bit of money to market smash long, which is the direction that I want anyway. So like even when I'm wrong on the hedge short, it works out in my favor at the end of the day. And if it happens that my greedy ass was wrong for not closing the long, at least I've got some sort of way to protect it.
I got a question on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you keep the short running, and let's say your long round trips, you would keep the short running, and then when would you close the short and re-enter in the long?
I probably wouldn't close the short until it breached the whole move 7.5. Like I'm gonna round trip the short. I think you have to decide, because if you can do it, then I think that's awesome. I've had too many situations where I lost track of what my real bias was because I got too cute with the hedge short. And then then my subconscious was all fucked up because I was trying to maximize the short, and that okay, well maybe I can wait a little bit lower for the long entry. So the way that I'm using the short is I'm going to use the short not to juice off of it, but I want to protect the long. But more importantly, I can be aggressive on taking longs, because if I fuck up the long, let's say, for example, I don't have the opportunity to put stop loss at break even, I get filled and immediately I'm stopped out on a lower low type of shit, or however it ends up being. That loss that I take is going to come out of the unrealized profits from the short. So I think you have to decide. But I've let shorts, huge shorts, get round tripped. But when I do like the hypothetical math, you can see and you can figure out where your entry is, what your leverage is, and how much you're going to go in, and figure out exactly how much you would lose or would gain. What you would probably do on a situation like that is, can you give me, like, if you gave me an example of the entry that you had and the entry long and the entry short, I can tell you exactly where I would shave and where I would close it.
I got a 103 long.
You have a 103 long. Okay. I'm going to go to Coinbase.
And then, yeah. And then let's say I hedged from 107 short.
113. You have a top peak, go top short. You're going to talk to me about something that happened.
No, I'm telling you, so this short
Uh-huh.
all the way back to my 103 long, right? So I close that long, it gets stopped out with tiny P. Um,
Okay, so you want to
that's what
talk
I'm
about this?
asking.
You want to talk about this scenario? You,
I think you want to know the nation of the long, basically.
okay, the invalidation of the long is if you get back into value. So
No, no, no. My question, how long would you let the short run to close it and reopen a long? You know what I mean? Would you let the short go up to 50, or like I'm saying,
short runs, the stop loss is like here. So that's it. Short runs. Like this to TP this, I would say 70. Is that maybe that's what you're asking?
got it.
Yep. Let this bitch run all the way down here. Then I would be like, pop ink, juice. Yep. So is that what you're asking? If when the hedge short were to like when you would close it for a home run?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, like, let's say my original long at 103 gets stopped out. We go, and then it starts to like go back up. You know, like it's like, shit, should I get into the long again because I already have this head short?
Oh, no,
But
no,
it's
no,
not a
no,
hedge
no.
anymore.
So for me, the long would be independent. It would be like I didn't have the short.
Got it.
I wouldn't even consider the fact that I had the short. Like the long, if I'm gonna be taking a long, it's because I'm bullish time frame, medium time frame, and the smaller time frame just gives me an opportunity to take it. But the long, the thought process of taking the long isn't the short doesn't matter.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
I get it.
Yep.
We're about to be a market close.
Nice. All right, good shit. Yeah, so like I would long 108. I would try to long the green line. I would try to long and I wouldn't care if about the short. And I would let it run because let's say that I try to take this long and I lose money trying to long here. That this short I don't get profits from here. So this short, I might have profits from here to here to here to here to here, but I tried to take the P&L for the short would end up looking like this, you know? Because it comes out of the unrealized profits of the short. Yeah, so there's always like the smaller time frame, the medium time frame, and long here and get papinked. And then this was your original stop loss, but you can put your stop loss like this. And then if this happens, you get closed out and you can't lose. You can do something like shaving a little bit here. And so you have realized profit that if it does this, that realized profit counteracts this. So you can keep your stop on a lower low, but it's still break even. And you can use a higher time frame that hedge short. And so if you want to try to aggressive on a long here, aggressive on a long here, aggressive on a long here, if you're wrong, you just don't have any profits in that gap. Oh man, I could have done a lot better with some Bitcoin longs. Hands up if you feel like, JV, I could have probably had 500 more Bitcoin at some way sicker entries, and I fumbled quite a bit. The best. I'm satisfied, but could I have done a lot better? Oh my! But that's okay. We bad. I can't be too greedy. It's a fine line between greedy, self-honest with improvement, right? Yeah, so let's take that energy. Zendi says fucked up a hustle. Nah, you didn't fuck up. You didn't fuck up. How can you the story is still to be written. The movie is not over. The book is not over. We are not even through chapter 4 out of a 20 chapter book. Yeah. So let's lock in. I will tell you this much. if you feel like you missed out on a biddy longs, you know that you haven't missed out on altcoin longs, right? Yo. I mean, I feel like what coin should show you, if anything, is a little bit of preparation goes a long way. A little bit of greed can go a long way. A little bit less leverage can go a long. Because I bet all of us can back and think about a Bitcoin long that we had that only got up because it was high leverage. It really only got fucked up because it was high leverage. It just started the whole domino effect. Like, you needed to put that bitch at break even right away. You couldn't, you couldn't afford to do this, that, and the third. But XBit says, if only you could take a peek in the future. Yes, but you can. You know what you can do is you can't look sure, but you can look at all the shit that has happened in the past. Price action. What has Fias been doing the last year, 2, 3 years, the last couple weeks, the last couple months? So you should be in a position, Hans Hugo, where if it does pull back, it doesn't, it's not that big of a deal. Have you shaved a good chunk? I think if you've had a long from 1800 and you haven't shaved at least 25 to 33%, you're a little bit maybe on the greedier side. But brother, who am I to tell anybody about being greedy? I'm the last person to be able to say anything about somebody else being greedy. So, and leaving one last open. I think you're good, Hans Hugo. At the end of the day, Hans Hugo, no one knows what's going to happen, right? And use this opportunity, Hans Hugo, to do the right thing. And what I mean by that is, I don't know if you would agree with this statement, but I think there's a strong correlation, or what I have seen is there's a strong correlation between people that will set their TP and 5 seconds, the split second before it gets hit, they'll close it. That motherfucker is going to have his stop loss set, but he'll cancel it last minute too. So I would just encourage you to try to do the right thing and do what you originally prepared. Try to read data. If you are going to adjust your plan, try to do it because of data. Yeah, but you're doing great. You're doing great, and keep juicing, keep learning. Do you think this is going to be your the last time you're ever going to have an amazing long? I hope not. I think this is just the beginning. You're after a year, brother, you're going to have 20, 30 amazing juicy ass longs. Okay? So, I don't want to just focus on the long that you're in today, but let's, overall think about the 20, 30, 40,000, hundreds of thousand longs coming up. All right, brother, I'm out of here. Can we give it up for Houston? Lions. Scalping tomorrow, boy. You ready? So let me make an...
Started the day with a plan in my mind. Marked up my charts. Saw the stars align. Watched it run up high. I knew today would be worth the fight. There were moments I had my doubts. I had to ride it.
Exclamation BTCC. I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Bulls, Bears, we're all Lions. Hey, please be gentle. Please be kind to Houston. I know that the manual giveaway format is a little bit chaotic, so bear with us. Obviously, we'll continue to give away money every single day, so don't worry if you don't get picked for that day. If you do get picked for today, you should have it before tomorrow's stream. You guys are amazing. Can we give it up for Houston? Love you guys, Lions. Can I get a cut? Choi! Yeah!